Okay, hopefully the my mic works good for this one. I apologize for yesterday. The mic was not working. I tested it before I did the video this morning, and we should be okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm the founder and CEO of Gar Capital. Glad to be with you this morning and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on our YouTube channel. Before we begin, if you want access to our live market blog, it is free for all. Go to our website. You can see it there, www.gar.capital. Click access our Discord. Then you scroll down past our memberships and you can see here free plan. Click on their team so you can get access to our Discord. I do answer any kind of your DMs, questions regarding the market. Here to help as always. And you can always DM us on our Instagram page at Gar Capital. All right, minimize that. Let's start moving on to the markets. Let's get this moved over here. I was on my other screen. All right, it is Thursday, February 29th. Happy leap year for all who celebrates. Dow futures are up 70 points. Nasdaq futures up 0.53%. The S&P 500 is up 0.30%. We are up on the news of the core PCE number. That was the preferred inflationary reading for the Fed. That's the way. Let me get this out of here. Excuse me a second, team. Okay, there you go. I don't know how I was hitting that button. Either way. Are we all good? All right, we're getting some questions this morning. Sorry, I'm just kind of messing around with the layout. For some reason, my Steam Deck is having some issues. So let's see if I can get this going. There we go. All right, full screen. I'm still working on this technology stuff, team. 10-year Treasury yields 4.26%. That's down this morning. We had the core PCE number. If you join our Discord server, you will get access to this information. Core PCE 2.8% in line with expectations. Personal income beat expectations 1% above 0.4% expectations. Personal spending 0.2% month and month in line with expectations. Jobless claims a little hotter than expected. 215 over 210. Jobless claims 1.9 million versus 1.875 million on continuing claims of unemployment. Okay. We got some questions here. I just want to go over the elephant in the room that I didn't get to talk about yesterday, which was Bitcoin. Yes, we traded BITO and we did very well with it. Let's go to the weekly. Okay. This is Bitcoin futures. I want you guys to start looking at this now because we have to really expand out. Ethereum also hit highs not seen since 2022 April. So that's been on fire. 3,500 now on the future side. So we're at 63,530. We tagged the high of around 64,974. 69,355 on futures is the target. So we're going to hit that sooner rather than later. In terms of support, what are we looking at? 56,510. So for the time being, we'll just keep 60,000 as kind of our mental support. We know that Bitcoin can be volatile. We know how crypto moves. And I've always said weekends are for crypto. Weekdays are for stocks. But hey, it is a weekday and Bitcoin wants to run. So be it. So let's take a look rather quickly on BITO. I know some of our members are still holding calls. Here's the deal. Got to get above 30 and sustain above 30. You got that possible double top. It's not because Bitcoin's going to break out. So it's kind of rather redundant to do BITO technical analysis. This is the Bitcoin ETF when you have it based on solely Bitcoin and Bitcoin's going higher. So what can I say? We're just going to keep an eye on volume for down the line and ride the momentum to all-time highs. So, I'm okay with hitting BITO as many times as we can, as long as we have good spreads, tight spreads, and some time. And obviously, we want to have volume. So keep an eye for like the April expiry, May expiry, June expiry for BITO for additional strength to the upside because of Bitcoin. Here we go. Good morning, William. Do I think we'll catch Palantir today? Let's take a look at it. I do. I said this pre-market on the actual watch list and charts. That's for premium and masterclass members. That we're looking for 25.46 today. May have gotten a little early on Palantir. That's on me, but I really like the setup, and I think we might get that today. And I really hope we do, because that'll really wrap up the month on a strong note. So far this week, we've done excellent, even with buying time. So if we can get the rest of our trades today and the month right, that'd be we can get that momentum into March, like I spoke about on Sunday. But I expect Palantir to go higher, absolutely, at least to 25.46. Now, if that breaks, we got a little more to go. Here is the levels that we're looking for. You can see just kind of a retest of the breakout. That's kind of expected. I got to expand Palantir out right there, 25.46. We have a gap to fill, guys, right here at 31.27. It's a weekly gap to fill. So that's really where our money target is in terms of Palantir. And this breakout with time, I like the setup. I really like the setup. I think we got like a couple weeks on Palantir. Let's see, 26 today. No, I have 25.46. BITO. Yep, I just spoke about that. Sound is working today. Yes. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Apple. Let's take a look at it. Apple calls. This is just chop. It's been holding that 180 level with a bunch of headlines that they're not making the car. They are making the car, but they're not making it anymore, the EV. So you can see 183.82 is that 200 day. And now we're about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 sessions beneath it. Not even October had that many sessions below the 200 days. So a little, how's this? A little concerning, because Apple's it's the biggest part of the S&P. If we start cracking 179.14, I don't know how the S&P is going to continue to grind higher if Apple pulls back. So could this be where the SPY kind of in the technology sector kind of brings Apple back from the dead or down, and we can probably fill this gap here at 186.76. So in order to get there, really your best bet is to get above 185.09, but even that's cutting it close. So I would wait for 186.77 first, fill that gap. If it can sustain there, fair. 190 and above is fine, but you got to fill this first. That until then, honestly, I think you kind of stay away, because it's just really just chopping around. Not ideal. The call level for what? For AMD. Okay, AMD. Let's see it. AMD is holding up that trend line very, very well. 176.54. Really, I'm going to wait for 181.97, 182, because I don't want to get chopped around like we've been getting the last couple of sessions. So AMD has been a tough one to trade, unlike in 2023 where it was our best performer. Has not been easy to start. You could see since the start of January, yeah, we had a nice push on the 15th, but since then, more than 6 weeks of chop. So we're just going to wait for either a breakout, a true breakout, or a true breakdown. All it is hugging the 20 day. So there is upward momentum on AMD. Obviously, it's just really hard to trade it on the short term. It is pricey, obviously, with semiconductors getting all the love. But as of right now, I would stay away. Stay away until 182 on AMD, at least if you're going long, which is the momentum. Let's go and take a look at Tesla. I'm taking a look at S&P, sorry. Let's take a look at Tesla. Yeah, Tesla's about to go. We had the 205 calls for this week, but we took them on Monday. If that does break, then we definitely have an opportunity to trade it a little higher. Yeah, 206.73. That's the gap fill. We need to get above there. We're about another $2 away. And once we get there, then we can start taking a look at this gap fill. This is from the daily, 220.01. So Tesla, for the time being, I said that on Sunday as well, that Tesla's going to be on our watch list pretty much every week from now on, because there's so much opportunity to trade it and there's so much volume, and it's always in demand. So we can always trade it. We'll always get some kind of bid when it comes to like Tesla, Apple, and SPY. So we will see if we actually fill that gap. That'd be key. And if we do, can we sustain that as new support and then target 220? That's kind of the game plan on Tesla. We just haven't got there yet. Looking over the trades that we do have open, we have Robinhood open as well. Nice bounce. It's screen pre-market. Excellent, excellent. Great setup here too. Breakout. See that double top? Breaking out above it now. Let's see if we sustain. That's what we need. So I have 17 as my alert. And then after that, well, I don't know if we'll get to 85 anytime soon, but the $20 level, 19 sounds about right. Just Robinhood at the time we filled had really great volume. So I do like this setup for continuation. We also had DraftKings. DraftKings breaking my alert. How wonderful. And we're about to get in the money and we have time. This is my favorite. So I like when we have time, when we're in the money and momentum is on our side. We got that with BITO, for example. DraftKings getting the same. So we got that 1 hour breakout out of this here, little tight range. You know me, I love me some DraftKings. Been trading this for a while. So 45.75 being our target. That'll get us in the money. We should be set. So the goal this week or today is to get Palantir, DraftKings, and Robinhood all today done, bagged and booked, so we can put that in for our February numbers, and then we can see how we did. It was a choppy mid-month, I'll tell you that much, but the end of the month has been very great to us so far. So we're gonna do the best we can to come out with a really great, result of the day, and end February on a strong note to take that momentum into March. That's kind of the deal. Potential semiconductor rebound for next some trading days with today's rebound, like Nvidia or SMCI. AMD needs a little more. For example, let's see Nvidia. Nvidia's been fighting that 800 level. If we can sustain above 800, yes, I think that definitely Nvidia has more juice because it's been doing that. It just goes up and then it pulls a little bit, then it goes higher, and just it's way above every moving average you can think of. The only issue is there's a gap to fill below. You just got to hold above 750. But if you want bullish momentum, I think 800 needs to hold. So you need to break above that and use that as your next support for the next leg higher on Nvidia. In terms of SMCI, yeah, you could see pop, and then drop. It's trading like a penny stock at this point. So you really need to be careful trading this. You also have a gap to fill here at 773.35. You have that 20. I think Nvidia would be best to wait for 800. SMCI, until you have a consistent trend, I would stay away. Honest opinion. That's what I think, anyways. All right. Well, let's see if futures give us a little bit of action today. Here we go. Futures going. Let's see if we can trade that with the futures group today. Look to retest that 144 level. Remember, we've been choppy the last couple of days as well. So, in a way, kind of due for, a good day, at least a positive one, a green one. 5109. Let's keep an eye on that on the ES. If that breaks, 5150 is in play. But you got to get above 5123. So, I'm going to place an alert at 5109. If we can trade that level, great. In terms of a stop, be right here at 50.75. I know, wider than really an expected stop, but you got to give these trades some room to breathe. That's really the key. So you can see on the 1 hour, again, this is very small time frames, guys. So I just want to show you guys, if you wanted to trade futures, what would be the best course of action. You can see just a nice downward trend in the short term, and finally got that breakout. So if you were taking a look to trade this, your actual support above 5109 would be 5081. So that's about a 30 pip, 30 point, 30 handle stop. And then you can trade up to 5160. Let's see how much. Yeah, 5170. That would be that trend line. So that's what I would look for a trade. We'll keep 5083 as the stop if you get above 5109. Once you break 5123, I'd move the stop to break even. Wait for the momentum. Wait for the momentum to 5150. Then I'd move the stop again, lock it in at 5123. So if you get this momentum again, you want to slide. You want to slide the scale, and then I would go ahead and take profits right around 5150, 5160. You can also move the stop to 5155. But right here is where we should figure in some exhaustion of buying if we were to get this momentum. Now, this could all change in March, and then we explode higher. Then we're talking 5224. But for now, again, S&P 500 futures need to be on your radar moving forward. So 5109, that's what I'm looking for. What's that in SPY or Q? So let's take a look at SPY. Again, very similar price action. It's the same exact thing. You want to level above 508.26, 508.86. If that were to break, then you're taking a look at possibly looking 512, the 512 calls. Yeah, that sounds about right. around the 512 area right here. You got to go out of the money a little bit here. Not going to be very expensive on SPY. In terms of QQQ, same thing, kind of a downward wedge breakout, downward channel. Again, you can see kind of the melt and then the pop. So Qs haven't broken anything yet. If we were looking to, I guess, go long, I'd rather do Nasdaq futures. I have a little more control. 538.88. Then you can target the 440s to possibly 442s. Slide this down a little bit, get a little more scale. So here's your all-time highs. Yeah, I kind of setting up a little bit. Keep knocking on the door. Should bust out. 445 would be a nice target as well. Coin. Yeah, Jeff, I was 1 week too early on coin. I said the 200 level was what I was looking for, and I should have bought time. That's kind of the lesson now with this market is you got to buy time. Above 215. Yeah, above 215. 208. Yep, you're breaking out on Coinbase. I think Citron came out with a note that he was long Bitcoin but short Coinbase. So 213.13. There it is, right there. You see this line here? That's your previous support from July 2022. Let's see if we recapture that, and then we can stay within the 250 range to 300. But you got to get above this. We need the volume too. So we got to see if there's like 250 calls for like May and see if we can hit that. Give us some time. If Bitcoin rejects 64K, do you think it retraces back? Yes, I think Bitcoin will hit all-time highs. Absolutely. I think that's coming. That's pretty much inevitable in my opinion. The question is when. Because it's golden crossed across the board. I mean, we've been talking about Bitcoin since last year. Yes. Can you explain what that means when spreads are far apart? That just means the volume is low. It means there's not enough buyers. So the bid and the ask tends to be a little wider. You see this a lot in penny stocks. I always say with penny stocks, they're easy to buy, they're hard to sell for a reason. You got to find other people to buy it. This is why we only trade mega cap names. There's always going to be someone who wants to buy Apple calls. BITO is different. It's Bitcoin, granted. But like Tesla, there's always volume. Those spreads are tight. But you start going into like certain, pharmaceuticals, biotech, you're not going to get those spreads. And that sometimes you buy those options, you're already down 20% because the spread is already so wide. So you got to make up that spread just to get to break even, which sucks. And you don't want to deal with that. Let's take a look at crude oil. We traded crude oil this week and we fell back down. And I'm glad we didn't. Upside move, sure. You got a little bit of a drift higher to 80, but it's very choppy. What would we look for? Maybe above 79? I think we're kind of splitting hairs on crude. I think we got what we got. I like the 80 level, absolutely. My question is that would that be where they sell? And if that's the case, then we're really just kind of really scalping. 81 is my main resistance coming up. So trading above 79.03, targeting 81 isn't the worst thing in the world, especially if we get above 80. Then we can move stops. So, I mean, that's kind of the tight range we're going to get. And the only reason that this looks somewhat decent for more upside is we're above the 200-day. So I definitely think crude has a little more to go, at least to 81. After that, who knows? There's always production cuts or demand or who knows? Things change. All right, guys, we'll go and leave it there. Have a great rest of your morning. We will catch you guys on the Discord server. If you are interested in joining, make sure to go to our website, www.gar.capital. Have a great day. I will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers all.